Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Every season, I put out a top 10 season thingy, but I also incorporate it into this really long 10 to 20 minute season review. Now, if you're not here for all that, you're probably bored to death. I therefore have come up with the most amazing plan. This is part 1 of 3 of my season review. We're going to start off with the top 10 original anime series that I loved so much. When I say original, I'm not including a sequel to a pre-existing series. I am, however, considering a series that started a couple seasons ago but ended this season. And I'm not including a series that started this season that is not ending now. For example, I'm really loving Psyche Kuso, freaking awesome show, but it's ending next season. Days is fine, and Twin Star Exorcist ain't ending either. You will hear what I think about those in the future. But for now, the top 10 anime of the summer of 2016 that I loved and recommend. 10th place I didn't actually watch after all that is Thunderbolt Fantasy. It's here because a lot of you guys say it's good. I apologize I did not see it. Let me know what you actually think of it. I didn't see it because I think it was running more as an OVA series than an actual series, and it just went straight under my radar. And then one of my subscribers said, "Oh, I really like Thunderbolt Fantasy. What do you think of it?" And I'm like, what the fuck is Thunderbolt Fantasy? So, yeah. Anyway, let's go to number 9. In 9th place, Sweetness and Lightning. So, this is such a sweet freaking show. It's about a dad who, unfortunately, his wife passed away, and he has to take care of Tsumugi, the cutest little thing ever. Now, I like the beginning way more than the end, because it was pretty repetitive. Every episode, something very minor seems to happen, and she gets sad, and they cheer up little girl with food. But she's just so freaking cute, it makes it worth it. I know this makes it sound pretty crappy, and it's nothing compared to Shokugeki no Soma in the food department. However, it's a very enjoyable show, and Tsumugi is freaking cute. They can also turn it into hentai if they wanted with the whole teacher-student thing, and it was a little awkward at times, but lucky for him, his student owns a restaurant, and he gets to visit her, like, every single night. First off, yeah, this isn't one of those mind-blowing series. It was just really sweet, and she is freaking cute. In 8th place, we have Orange. This show actually has something to it. It's a drama romance that started and seemed like it could get more interesting than it actually became. It's about this girl named Naho that got a letter from the future basically saying, save Kakeru and fall in love with him and stuff. So Kakeru, who in the future had committed suicide, had to be saved. She also had a crush on Kakeru, so it made it easier to fall in love with him, and her and her group of friends go through high school life, and she tries to protect this dude from his mental issues. It is also getting a movie sequel. I think it's supposed to be about the future time as opposed to the past, which was the main focus of the series, and I'm looking forward to it immensely because I really enjoyed Orange. However, not only do I have no idea why it's called Orange, the thing it did most is make me fall in love with a certain male character. Not literally, of course, and don't take the words "of course" to mean I'm hating on gays, but this guy is way too freaking nice. How the hell could someone be as nice as this guy? Unfortunately, I do not remember his name, and that is because, well, they didn't yell his name all episode like Kakeru, because literally the show is about 5 friends yelling Kakeru for 12 episodes, and they actually did a great job of it. Anyway, 7th place, New Game. It's about a girl who joins a group of girls to work on making a new game. Well, actually, it's not really a new game. It's a sequel to an old game which was popular, and she's working in, like, the whole 3D imaging, photo, video editing, and whatever. Yeah, none of that's really important. It's a really cute slice of life show. It's really funny. I really enjoy the interaction between these really strange girls working in this office space. There's nothing to say about a slice of life show aside from that I enjoyed it. It's not an 8, but, it's not bad. It was amongst my favorite slice of lives that I've seen in a while, and that's saying a lot, because there are millions of slice of life shows. Also, I love every single character dearly. Next one, a show where I didn't like any of the characters. 6th place is The Tales of Zestiria the X. It's here for the animation. That is the only reason why it's here. I admit it, the storyline is not wonderful, the character development is not wonderful. I can name you a dozen issues with the show right now, but I won't, because I don't have time, but I will tell you the animation is superb. It's the greatest animation of any anime that's ever come out. UFO Table, you are the bomb. Just don't only adapt game anime. Literally, they only adapt game anime recently. First, God Eater, which sucked in my personal opinion. And now, of course, they do Zestiria, which is not as bad as God Eater, because I do enjoy it a little bit. No, I enjoy it a lot. I look at the freaking water. I mentioned this in a video already, but the freaking water in this series outdoes water in real life. They don't do no CGI crap dragons like the original Fate Stay Night. They really, when they make a dragon, that dragon is something to be feared. And also, they threw in like an alternate storyline for 2 episodes in the middle of the series, which I know a lot of of you will disagree with me, but I preferred that alternate storyline to the actual storyline, and I wish we could have continued with them. However, Zestiria is getting a second season in a couple months, so I will enjoy watching that as well. And you won't be bored watching this show, just because the animation is so freaking beautiful. You'll just eye-gasm your way through the episodes. And let's move on to number 5. Alright, now the list begins to start getting good. So, Nejimaki, etc., Alderamin. So it has a really long name, and it's about the laziest general ever. So Iktasorlork is a freaking genius, and he's also very lazy. And he becomes a general. Sort of against his will, he gets bamboozled into the job by accidentally saving a princess when their ship was sinking and stuff, and, well, whatever. It's about how this freaking lazy genius lives his life, and would not teach a great lesson to children if they were to watch the show, as he basically teaches everyone be lazy is being smart. Yeah, until the end, he fights against the undefeated sleepless general, who's like a total opposite of him. The Mind War is nowhere on the scale of Lelouch and Schneisel, or Light and L. However, it was enjoyable to watch, and I'm hoping it'll get another season. Madhouse hasn't tarnished their reputation with this one. However, this year, 2016, Madhouse has been disappointing me a little with not putting out any really standout shows. I mean, last year they put out One Punch Man, and that freaking got everywhere. And I'll be talking more about One Punch Man soon. In 4th place, I have ReLife, another slice of life-ish series about a 27-year-old guy who can't keep a job, and he gets offered a pill that'll basically age him backwards 10 years so he can go to high school again. I believe the purpose of the test was to normal him out, and it sort of does as he goes through the last grade of high school again. Makes new friends and stuff, but there's always that creeping sadness that he can't stay too friendly with them because by the end of the year he's going back to 27-year-old bum, and none of them will even remember him. Honestly though, it's a great series, and I especially love the ending. I didn't think they would be able to pull off an ending so good, but they did. Congratulations. I really liked ReLife. Definitely my favorite romance series of this season, and possibly of the entire year as well. In 3rd place, speaking of One Punch Man, Mob Psycho 100. The guy who made One Punch Man was this dude named One. He also wrote Mob Psycho 100. One Punch Man, if you never heard of it, got freaking popular last year. So popular, in fact, it shattered like all the records made by everyone, back till Attack on Titan or something. And it's getting a second season, which is freaking cool next year. Now, the writer One wrote One Punch Man basically to test out a new type of manga drawing website thingo. And it was this comedy spoof work, whereas Mob Psycho was his serious work. Madhouse got One Punch Man and turned it into a masterpiece, and Bones got Mob Psycho and turned it into a freaking masterpiece. The art style is freaking weird in Mob Psycho, because that's how One actually drew his manga. So technically, One Punch Man differed from the norm, as opposed to Mob Psycho. And I'll tell you something, with an art style like this, they make everything look freaking sick. And now that I'm done with the superficiality, let's talk about the core show. So, very similar to One Punch Man, the protagonist of this series is named Mob, and he is freaking powerful. I would even dare say he's overpowered. Well, except we didn't see what's going to be happening next season, so I don't know how overpowered he actually is. But from what's shown here, he's pretty freaking overpowered.
Like One Punch Man.
Not like One Punch Man. He wants to be unnoticed by everyone, not need to use his powers, and never fight. Whereas One Punch Man wants to be known by everyone and find an opponent as strong as him so they can fight. With this totally different mindset, they both managed to become amazing series. This show is not as action-packed, and it is not as funny as One Punch Man, and I do believe that's where One's strength truly lies. This is a more cerebral show. I mean, it's freaking awesome. Now, there is one thing about Mob Psycho that I definitely do think beats One Punch Man, and I know a lot of you will argue with me on this fact, but there is no character in One Punch Man that I like nearly as much as Mob Psycho's master, Arataka Reagan. This guy is a world-class psychic, and he has no psychic powers. He's a con dude. In fact, he doesn't even believe in psychics until he bumps into Mob. That's when he takes Mob in, has Mob work for him, and honestly, I think Reagan is a freaking genius. I love the way he walks around. My favorite moment in the entire series, hands down, was when he walked into Claw's base. And his secret attack moves are pretty freaking epic, I must say, and I don't want to tell you what they are because it ruins an amazing moment. Guys, I recommend Mob Psycho. It gets over an 8. It was a great series. Definitely hoping for another season as well. Maybe not quite One Punch Man level, but definitely in the ballpark. In 2nd place, we have a series that was overlooked, in my personal opinion, called 91 Days. One of my favorite Mafia series of all time. So, 7 years after Angelo Lagoose's family is wiped out by the Mafia, gets a mysterious, unsigned letter telling him which Mafia family decided to kill them. This story is how Angelo enacts his revenge against them, and he does it brilliantly. They don't spell out every single move that's done, like in Death Note.
Whoa! No! A potato chip!
No, they don't do any of that garbage. Freaking watch the show, and have your eyes wide widen in excitement as you watch what this one orphan dude can do to literally a city and several mafia families, and how he blows the shizzle out of everyone. The dude's amazing. I really like him as a protagonist, as he is definitely the anti-hero protagonist anime has been missing for quite a while. There's nothing really extra to say about it, because the brilliance of the show is how he enacts his strategies, not what the actual show is about. Unlike number 1, which you all knew was coming, guys, it's ReZero. Actually, this anime is pretty much not controversial. Everyone agrees it's amazing. Protagonist blinks, wakes up in another world. Okay, so far it's cliche, I understand. But his powers are not quite cliche. Whenever he dies, he wakes up at the last checkpoint, I'd like to call it. Sort of like in a video game. He has no idea how he got there, and he has no idea what he's supposed to do. However, the trauma involved as he watches all his friends die before him and then comes back to watch them die again is shown clearly in his development. And the development of the protagonist is incredible, as well as the world, which is incredible, as well as a lot of stuff in the show, which is freaking incredible. It doesn't get you bored. Even if you begin to get bored in the middle of the episode, don't worry. It'll end with such an amazing cliffhanger, you won't be bored, and will immediately go watch the next one. And of course, with all of these series, I recommend you the ultimate plan to watch ReZero. This is how you watch this anime. You watch one episode a day. Oh, and don't forget, there is an episode 0 or episode 1.5, depending on which site you watch it on, so don't forget that. Watch one episode a day, except for the first 4. The first 4 you can watch in one shot to get you into it. Then wait a day for each episode just to feel the full effects of the awesomeness of the anime, and so his development could be more stretched out in real time. God, did they do a great job on Subaru, even though, honestly, he's a prick. While a lot of you will hate it because not much action happened there, a lot of you will love it if you can truly appreciate stuff. Anyway, that's all I have for now. I hope and intend to put out a top 10 sequel list of this year's season and a top 10 disappointments list of this season. So, keep your eye out for those. And as far as movies, Koi no Katachi is a pretty amazing movie, but, well, doesn't stand even a ghost of a chance against Kimi no Na wa, possibly one of the greatest anime ever made. But I don't have time to talk about it this time. So, in the future, have a wonderful evening, and I will see you next time.